This is Spoiler Alert. I'm Truett.
And I'm Addison. Today we will be talking about Daughter of a Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. Okay, so we have not talked about this book at all. I read it about a week ago and he read it a few days.
A few days ago, she refused to talk to me about it.
So this is all of our thoughts. Overview, what are your general thoughts?
I liked the characters.
Okay.
Some of them you really like, some of them you just really, really despise.
Yeah.
With all of your living being. Check.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I'd say it's an 8.
I'd give it that. Yeah.
Because they... Hold on.
They...
It didn't have a lot of action, but I guess that was okay.
Yeah.
And she was locked in the cellar, in the brig, a lot.
Yeah. So, one note about this book. Now, we have a library copy, so we can't fully show you. But they have, in the back cover, diagram of the ship, so in case you're confused how it's set up. I actually found this really helpful later on.
I didn't use it at all.
So, that's just for me, and I was like, well, where's the brig, and how does it work? So that was me. So let's start at the beginning. Whenever you first meet her...
She's on her own pirate ship.
Alosa.
No, not on her own pirate ship. She's on her father's pirate ship with 3 of her own crewmates and the rest a bunch of people who failed it with the Pirate King.
Yeah. And they're under siege. And I appreciate that, like, right away, there wasn't, like, that slow build-up. You were in action.
Yeah, immediately in action. And she, as you know later, she was purposefully taken captive, but not before killing 2 of their crewmates.
Right.
In cold blood.
I like that... Sorry. I like that as soon as you meet her, she's fierce, she's determined, she's strong-willed, she's obviously a redhead. I'm a huge fan of that.
Because you are one.
Correct. That's not important. And I also like that immediately within the first 20 pages, you meet characters and get to know their personalities. The big 3 characters. You know who Draxon is and how awful he is.
And you know Raiden and you know Alosa.
Yeah, and those are the most important characters, I think.
And Kieran, in my opinion.
Why?
Because he becomes the navigator at the end of the book.
Oh, yes. And I like Kieran and then the thief.
Because he's drunk.
The thief.
Enwin?
Yes.
Enwin.
They remind me of the 2 pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean, the one with the eye and his friend.
If you have watched that, yes.
Great movie. We're on our pirate kick as we've just saw.
And if you've read the book, you would know she is a siren, and she makes great use of that.
Yeah, but
by after Raiden moves her to his room, she uses her siren singing ability to knock him out, which I would find very useful.
Yeah, but I also appreciate how that she is a siren and that's part of her, that it's not something that she likes.
Yeah, she doesn't like being who she is. She doesn't like half of her.
Yeah, and I like how she's self-aware enough to know that if she uses her siren abilities a lot, she'll lose control.
Unless she uses the one where she can sense people's desires.
Even that, she starts losing control.
Feeling unnatural, yeah.
And starts becoming. Okay, so it starts, back to the plot, they're under siege. Then they put her in the cell and they start investigating. Interrogating her. And I like how they are constantly, like, jabbing back and forth, and they're both really witty and really sarcastic. I also love how witty she is. One of my favorite lines, if I can share this to it, is it just really stuck with me. I'm sorry, I do not have it marked. Oh, that's not it.
We can cut out most of the searching.
Let's get one thing straight. Alosa, you are my prisoner. While it appears you've learned a thing or two from growing up as the daughter of a pirate king, the fact remains that you will be the only woman on a ship full of cutthroats, thieves, and blackhearts who haven't made port in a good long while. Do you know what that means? I spit again, trying to get the blood taste out of my mouth. It means your men haven't been to a whorehouse recently. That just, I feel, really embodies her sass. And her
She's
sarcasm.
Very sassy.
Yes, and just sarcasm and that just constant, like, that wit, and she's quick on her feet. I really admire
her
that.
brain.
What?
She's a quick mind.
Yeah, she's quick. I really like that about her.
She's one of the stronger heroines we've read about.
Right.
Other than some of the other weaklings.
I really like her. And then,
as the plot moves on, she's causing more trouble by sneaking out and looking for the map.
Yeah.
And she gets moved to Raiden's room, which gets interesting.
But before that happens, I like when she steals the key from him. And she uses that for a while, and then eventually
he finds out and punishes her for it.
Right, but she locks him in herself.
Yeah. But after he moves her to his room,
which happens after they meet Port, and she kills
Shek, who we all hate.
Yeah, because she needed to kill someone. Why did she kill him?
Because he was an awful person.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's been a bit.
It's been a week. But she gets to trash Raiden's room.
I loved that.
Which is very neat and tidy. So she took great pleasure in doing that because it made Raiden mad.
Sorry. I think it's odd that a pirate would be so neat and tidy.
And then they decide that she gets to go on deck and work,
yes.
Which was not the greatest idea they've had.
And I love how she
just
climbs.
And
she also knocks him down. But I felt bad for her when she actually had to be there all day.
Yeah.
Because we were watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Like I said, we're on our pirate cake. And I got to see what those actually look like. Okay, with them shackles look like, they look very painful, and I guess
they would chafe against your skin and rub it off.
And that
would hurt. But as they realized that torture was not effective,
they stopped that.
They decided not to make her work again.
Well, until later on, where she does work.
Where she decided to work.
Actually, to use her siren abilities.
Yes.
And
so she had to seduce Draxen.
Yeah. I like
to find the map, because she earlier discovered that Draxen might have the map on his person.
And after she does that, she
realizes it's not there.
So she
has to go seduce Raiden.
And it's not there.
Which she took more pleasure in doing.
Yeah. Then she climbs the edge. She finds the map, but as soon as she gets on board,
she's knocked out and taken to.
They tell her they took the map from her. They tell her they knew she was looking for the map. Then Draxen takes her in his cabin, and Raiden tells her, whatever you do, try not to kill him. She fights him and knocks him out. She has the knife in her boot still.
She's had that the entire story.
Yeah. Until they come back, and she's having a conversation with Raiden, about to escape, where they get knocked out and taken to a different pirating group.
Which, is it Varden?
Yes.
Varden. No one likes Varden.
And he tests her siren abilities.
Except later we find out it's actually not Varden.
Varden's someone else.
Varden's someone else, the guy who flipped the coin on his fingers. I'd love to figure out how to do that. What?
There's probably a YouTube video for that.
Probably. And then she gets the Pirate King, her own ship, and some other random guy from the Pirate King's crew to help her escape from the
Yeah, but before that, she has to
Nightfarer. Escape the Varden. Varden.
And on this island that they're on. So, and I like how Raiden references how he let her cut him in the side at an earlier fight so he could eventually, got a little hurt so he could eventually win, and he gets shot in the leg twice.
I didn't think that was necessary, but I guess Raiden thought so.
Because then he got the drink.
Because then he sprayed water on Alosa, who sang a bunch of people to death.
And then
she shot the not Varden.
Yeah. Searched him, no map. Dove into the water.
Started losing herself to her siren half, which was unfortunate because at the time she was carrying Raiden to safety.
So she kind of wanted to let him drown, but at the same time, part of her was like, no, we like him. And the other part was, no, we want him to drown. It's very complicated.
Yeah, the no, we like him part won out.
Which is good, or else she would be a siren in the bottom of the ocean, and there would be no second book. Which is not out yet, does not come out till February of 2018.
It was rather funny, though, because she went through all that trouble just to get back on deck, and she got knocked out again.
She did?
Yes.
And they put her back in the
And they put her back in the brig.
And then, but before that happened, she was able to sing a few notes and get her group to come back, because she keeps 1 or 2 men in her crew, not because she needs the physical strength to hold prisoners down.
Although that's also helpful.
Yeah.
But they can hear her song and come and save her, which they do, but to Alosa's despair, they also brought Alosa's father and one of Alosa's father's crew.
Who's in love with her. The captain of the crew is smitten with her. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
And she's not interested.
At all.
At all.
And so she gets back to her crew. She takes some of Draxon's crew, including Draxon, and when Kieran and Raiden captive, and kills the rest.
Yeah. She's very much a pirate. Very vicious.
Very.
I appreciate the pirateness, but she doesn't hold back.
So, in the end, she takes Kieran onto the crew, but she wasn't worried about Kieran chasing all the girls because he drinks too much.
Mm-hmm. But then
he meets Sordina, who's the murderer of the crew.
Who's the assassin. She's the assassin of the crew, which I think is so cool. I also love that they have a 6-year-old on the crew. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then whenever she first gets over there, one of the guys was like, Rosa, the 6-year-old, misses you. She's been reading and writing letters to you. And I thought that was so cute. But, they have a little baby on the crew, which is horrible. A baby shouldn't be raised on a pirate ship.
But she is, and she, as the book states, is more stable in the air than on the ground.
And then they also take Edwin.
As a thief.
As the thief. I really like him. He reminds me of the eyeball guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
And then Alosa goes to the sick bay where Raiden is and tells Raiden about how she is more human than Siren.
And then it just ends
with, we've still got one more piece of the map to find.
Yeah. And so I'm very excited for a second book.
Very, yes.
You can get me that for your birthday.
Or you can get me it for yours.
Or I can get it for yours since your birthday is
sooner.
In February.
Yes.
Okay.
Sooner than yours. Okay, that concludes our...
Are you sure? You're done?
Yes. Okay. That includes... Hold on. Let's wait.
That concludes our episode of Spoiler Alert.